Imagine this. You post an honest product review online, maybe a video, right? And then suddenly it's taken down.
Yeah.
Then your comment section just gets flooded with bots. And the kicker, the company you reviewed, they threaten to sue you.
Sounds like something out of a movie, doesn't it?
And this,
Definitely.
yeah, exactly. But for this small independent review site, HouseFresh, well, that's exactly what happened.
It's really quite startling, and this isn't some hypothetical. Within like a month of HouseFresh posting their video review of the Puro Air 240, boom.
What happened?
They got an anonymous tip first, saying their review was evidence in a class action lawsuit against Puro Air.
Okay.
Then their video just vanished from YouTube, pulled, and then a pretty menacing legal letter showed up.
Wow. Okay, so today we're diving deep into this. It seems unbelievable, honestly, quite dystopian.
All right.
This deep dive, we're going to unpack what's really going on, who's pulling the strings, and crucially, what it means for you, the consumer.
And our info today is mostly coming from a YouTube video that really detailed HouseFresh's whole, frankly, unsettling experience.
So get ready, because this story goes down a rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah. We're talking lucrative affiliate deals, how search engines get, well, weaponized, and some pretty surprising corporate fights happening way behind the scenes.
Okay, so let's start with HouseFresh. How did they even get tangled up in this mess?
Well, their interest in this Puro Air 240, it started because the brand just sort of appeared out of nowhere.
Right.
But then it rocketed up the charts, became a bestseller on Amazon in 2023.
So they reviewed it. What did they find?
Their review was pretty blunt. They said, look, the product, quote, seemed to work fine, but the conclusion was it was awful value, just terrible value for money.
Awful value. What did that mean in practice?
Well, put it this way. The Puro Air 240 was selling for around $220.
Okay.
But HouseFresh found devices on Alibaba, the wholesale site, that looked strikingly similar.
And the price?
As little as $35.
Whoa. Okay, $220 versus $35. That is quite a markup.
Astonishing, really.
Yeah.
And Puro Air's reaction, it wasn't subtle.
How fast did it happen?
4 days. Just 4 days after the video review went up, HouseFresh noticed their analytics going crazy.
How?
It was, quote, bombarded with dislikes and comments. And weirdly, they seemed to be coming from Russia, which was totally not their usual audience.
Bots? Maybe.
Almost certainly. It was relentless, like 10 downvotes, and it just carried on. That's not normal user behavior.
No, definitely not. And then came the anonymous tip.
Exactly. A few days later, someone tells them their review is now evidence in a pending class action lawsuit against Puro Air.
Okay, things are escalating quickly.
And how? 2 days after that tip, boom, YouTube pulls the video. The reason? A counterfeit policy violation.
Counterfeit? For a review? That seems odd.
Very odd. And it didn't end there. 3 days later, a formal legal letter arrives.
From Puro Air's lawyers?
Yep. Demanding HouseFresh either change or completely remove statements from their written review this time.
And threatening a defamation suit if they don't comply.
You got it.
So what did HouseFresh do? Did they back down?
Nope. They refused to amend. They stood their ground.
Okay, gutsy. So Puro Air must have escalated.
They did. Their lawyers sent something called a pre-action protocol letter.
Which is?
It's basically the formal first step before actually filing a defamation lawsuit in the UK system. Like the final warning shot. Serious stuff.
And then?
It got worse, couldn't it?
Oh, yeah. About a week later, HouseFresh gets hit with a DMCA removal notice.
Ah, the DMCA. Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Exactly. It's meant to fight copyright theft online,
Right, but it sounds like it got used differently here.
Massively abused. Google, acting on the DMCA notice, preemptively pulled HouseFresh's written review from its search index.
Preemptively. So just gone from search.
Gone. Imagine searching specifically for Puro Air 240 HouseFresh and getting nothing. Like the review just evaporated.
Wow. That's huge for a review site, especially since you mentioned their site was already struggling with Google search visibility. Absolutely decimated was the word they used. YouTube was their plan B, and now Google search for their written review was gone too.
So how does this DMCA takedown even work? How can it be abused so easily?
Well, the scary part is how automated it is. Anyone can file a complaint with Google. If it kind of ticks the right boxes for the automated system,
yeah,
poof, the page gets de-indexed.
And then you have to fight it.
Yeah, you have to appeal, and it takes at least a couple of days for an actual human to look at it. But the damage is often done by then.
And this is the really shocking part.
Right. Our source found out you can actually hire people online for less than $10 to file these complaints and get pretty much any page removed.
$10 to silence a review.
Yep. It shows just how broken the system is.
Yeah.
It actively works against honest reviewers sometimes.
That is terrifyingly easy. So it makes you wonder, who is Puro Air and what's actually inside this device that's causing all this drama?
Good question. So to figure that out, House Fresh and the source we're drawing from, they got their hands on both a Puro Air 240 and one of those factory direct Chinese versions.
And they did a teardown, took them apart.
Exactly, side-by-side comparison. And the similarities were, well, pretty glaring right off the bat.
Like what?
Okay, so physically, identical flaws in the plastic molding, same overall design, even the little feet on the bottom were the same.
Any differences at all?
There was one tiny difference in a plastic piece inside, but they explained that's likely just from a multi-part mold. Doesn't really prove their different origins.
Interesting. Anything else stand out?
Yeah, the Chinese version had this sticker, open, unauthorized, sealed, no guarantee. Kind of telling.
And didn't Puro Air have some fancy claims about its design?
Oh yeah, their original marketing bragged about having scientists from MIT and Harvard to design it.
MIT and Harvard. Seriously.
That was the claim. But then you look inside. House Fresh checked the PCB boards, the printed circuit boards. Strikingly similar. They even found the exact same off-kilter mounting of this resistor on both boards.
So it really points towards them being, well, allegedly the same thing under the hood.
That certainly suggests that pretty strongly, yeah.
Okay, so if they're potentially just rebadged cheap units, how does House Fresh actually test air purifiers? It's not just about taking them apart.
Oh, definitely not. Their testing is much more rigorous. They have a sealed test room.
Okay.
They fill it with incense smoke for about half an hour. Lots of particles in the air.
Right, mimicking pollution.
Exactly. Then they use a purple air sensor to track the PM levels of the particulate matter. Tiny stuff you breathe in.
And they measure.
How quickly the air purifier actually cleans that smoke, those particles, out of the air. That's the real test of effectiveness. It's scientific, not just looking at parts.
That makes sense. A proper performance test.
Hey.
So, with House Fresh doing this rigorous testing and basically exposing the product, what's Puro Air's side of the story? Why so aggressive?
Well, according to what they told our source, they painted themselves as victims.
Victims of what?
They claimed they were battling lawsuits and FTC claims, Federal Trade Commission claims.
Okay, from who?
Initiated, they said, by a very dominant Chinese competitor called Lavoie. Puro Air claimed Lavoie was constantly challenging their marketing claims.
So they're blaming a competitor for their troubles.
Pretty much. They even said that's why they removed the HEPA 14 claim that's a high filtration standard from their website.
Their reasoning.
They saw no real benefit from fighting a possibly expensive case over a term they felt didn't really affect sales anyway.
Interesting deflection.
Yeah, and this whole narrative about the Chinese competitor, it hints at something bigger, something that comes up later regarding their suspicion of House Fresh specifically.
Okay, let's park that for a second. Back to Google. Why would Google just let a legitimate review be taken down like that? It seems counterintuitive.
Well, here's a key insight that most people probably don't realize. It looks like there are tons of independent websites out there, right?
Yeah, seems like it.
But the reality is something like 16 companies dominate the vast majority of search terms.
16. That few.
Yeah. Which explains why you often see the same photos, the same recommendations, just repackaged on different websites that are actually owned by the same parent company.
Okay, that connects to this listicle problem you mentioned.
Directly. House Fresh was already having a tough time with Google's algorithm before the DMCA thing.
How so?
Search terms like best air purifier, which should have driven traffic to their detailed reviews, were instead bringing up, well, our source called them garbage top 10 air purifiers articles.
Garbage.
Often, they're apparently written by people or AIs that have never tested or even touched the products they're ranking and recommending.
Wow. So just scraped content or AI fluff pushing products?
Seems like it. And this whole situation reveals a really disturbing aspect of modern online publishing.
Which is?
Google's algorithm, maybe unintentionally, has fueled this cynical business model. Big publishing companies buy up established, trusted websites that rank well on Google.
Okay.
And they got them. Cut the expensive stuff like actual product testing, experienced writers.
They just ride the brand name and SEO.
Exactly. They leverage the brand's reputation in search ranking to just profit off of it until it becomes worthless. Then they move on to the next one.
That's incredibly cynical. And profitable, I assume.
Highly profitable. And how do they make that profit? Affiliate links.
Right. Now, affiliate links themselves aren't evil, are they? We use them sometimes.
No, not inherently. An affiliate link just means the site gets a small commission if you buy something after clicking their link. The issue is how they're used.
So Housefresh uses them how?
Transparently. They give their honest review, warts and all, and then say, basically, look, if you've read this and still want to buy it, here's a link. No pressure.
Versus the listicles.
Yeah, you know the type. You scroll down, it's just, buy this, click here, best deal, use my link. Super pushy.
Okay, I know exactly what you mean.
And here's the kicker we mentioned earlier. Air purifier commissions are typically low, maybe around 3%.
But Puro Airs.
Were apparently much higher, which creates a massive financial incentive for these listicle sites to push Puro Air, regardless of quality.
Ah, so the money trail leads directly to the recommendations.
Precisely. It creates this complicit system where, as the source put it, every item in the damn listicle was selected purely to maximize commission rather than to maximize air purity.
That's a really damning quote.
And think about the product category. Air purifiers. They're not exactly passion purchases for most people, right?
Yeah.
It's a low passion category.
Yeah, it's not like buying a new phone or a car.
Exactly. Brands exploit this. They set artificially high list prices to create this perception of value. Make you think it must be good if it costs that much.
And then they offer discounts.
Right. Strategic discounts create a perception of savings and a sense of urgency. Get it now while it's on sale.
And Puro Air used this playbook.
According to the source, this is exactly the playbook that Puro Air used to rocket to #1 on Amazon. So yeah, lucrative affiliate deals fuel the recommendations drive sales and profits, and the profits fund more affiliate deals. It's a cycle. A money printing machine, as they said.
Money printing machine, go brr indeed. Chillin' stuff. Okay, so after going through all of that, the takedowns, the legal threats, the Dargy affiliate stuff, where does that leave Housefresh now?
Well, there's some good news and some less good news. They actually had insurance.
Oh, good. So that helped with legal costs.
It did cover some of them, yes. But here's the catch.
There's always a catch.
Their insurance provider told them they won't renew their coverage if they keep reviewing products like this. It's now deemed high risk.
So doing honest reviews makes you uninsurable.
Apparently so in this case. But despite that, Housefresh says they are absolutely committed to continuing their work.
Good for them. What about the legal threats from Puro Air? Is there an active case?
Right now, no active legal case specifically about that Puro Air 240 review, but Housefresh is still talking to lawyers, just being cautious.
Understandable.
But get this. It shows Puro Air's stance hasn't really softened. Housefresh, trying to be thorough, actually reached out to Puro Air about their new model, the Puro Air 400.
And Puro Air's response?
Their lawyers basically threatened them again, told them, quote, stop with your fixation with Puro Air.
Unbelievable. Just stop reviewing our products.
Pretty much. Now, our source did try to get Puro Air's perspective directly.
Oh, really? What did they say?
Yeah, they jumped on a call with 2 higher-ups, including the CEO at Puro Air. And interestingly, the source didn't get the impression they were, like, the devil in disguise.
More like
they just found a way to play the system and gain some ground, maybe got a bit aggressive doing it.
But why the intense focus on Housefresh? Why that chip on their shoulder, as the source put it?
Okay, this brings us back to that Chinese competitor, Lavoie.
Right. The one Puro Air claimed was attacking them.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
Puro Air has apparently been locked in battles with Lavoie court cases, FTC investigations. They even claimed Lavoie had managed to hold cargo shipments at ports against Puro Air, trying to block their products.
Wow. Okay, so real corporate warfare.
It seems like it. And from Puro Air's perspective, the timing of Housefresh's negative review of the 240, combined with the fact that Housefresh had given positive reviews to some Lavoie products.
Ah, I see where this is going.
Yeah. It made Puro Air suspicious. They suspected Housefresh wasn't independent, but was simply just another attack vector being used by Lavoie.
Okay, that's a serious accusation.
Yeah.
What was Housefresh's response to that?
They strongly denied it, stated very clearly, quote, we have as much of a relationship with Lavoie as we do with Winx, Coway, SmartAir, Xiaomi, Dyson, and many other brands. There's no proof.
So they review everyone, good and bad.
Exactly. They compared it to accusing a major tech reviewer of being funded by NVIDIA because we reviewed their graphics cards.
Yeah.
It just doesn't hold water without evidence.
Right. But even if Puro Air felt suspicious, their tactics.
Exactly.
Right.
Regardless of their motives or their fights with Lavoie, trying to sue reviewers using bots, abusing the DMCA system,
Yeah.
that is just not okay.
It really isn't.
And the fact that as we said, you can pay someone $10 to get a legitimate video taken down. It just screams broken system, needs fixing urgently.
Absolutely. So let's try and distill this. What are the big takeaways from this whole saga? It's a complex mess.
It really is. You've got misleading marketing, affiliate links manipulating recommendations, search algorithms favoring potentially junk content, and then these aggressive legal tactics suppressing honest critique.
But it also really highlights the bravery and, frankly, the necessity of truly independent reviewers like Housefresh.
Couldn't agree more. And look, while that whole listicle affiliate thing is still 100% a problem, it doesn't mean you're helpless as a consumer.
Okay, so what can people do?
Our source calls it a slow, painstaking, one-person-at-a-time education process. But there are steps you can take.
All right, let's hear them. Actionable advice time.
First, use those top 10 lists, if you must, but only for initial ideas, like finding model names.
Okay, don't trust the rankings themselves.
Definitely not blindly. Always, always research the individual models elsewhere. Think Reddit forums, other YouTube channels, specialist review sites.
And look at multiple sources.
Crucially, yes, read or watch more than one review, ideally more than 5. Because look, manipulating 1 or 2 reviews is possible, but it takes a pretty well-coordinated effort to manipulate everything and bury every negative take.
Good point. What's next?
Second, watch out for what the source calls shilling.
Shilling, like overly aggressive selling.
Exactly. If a website is shoving purchase buttons and buy now links in your face before you've even had a chance to read a single word, that's a huge red flag.
Find another source.
Find another source. A real reviewer, someone who's actually tested the thing, will almost always have their own photos or collected their own comparative data, not just regurgitated manufacturer specs.
Makes sense. Look for original content and data. And the third tip.
Finally, just do a quick sanity check on the author or the site itself. Is it a real person, someone who seems to have built a career on consumer trust and verified testing?
Or is it?
Or is it some anonymous entity on a website that reviews everything on planet Earth, from air fryers to dog beds to crypto? Trust your gut on who seems genuinely invested in providing real value.
Okay, that's really practical advice. So use lists for names, research deep, look for original data, and check the source's credibility.
That's the core of it. And the good news, the sort of happy ending here, is that Housefresh seems to be out of the woods for the moment.
Which is great.
And it really reinforces a vital point. No one, no matter how big or how small, should be allowed to be shoved around for speaking the truth if they're putting in the work to back it up.
Here, absolutely. This whole story, it really leaves you thinking, doesn't it?
It does.
In this age where we're drowning in information, but genuine trust feels scarcer than ever, how are you, listening right now, going to make sure the information you use for your purchases is actually unbiased?
Yeah, and maybe even more importantly, what's your role? What's our role in supporting those independent voices, the ones actually out there fighting for that truth? Something to think about.